Now, in the previous video tutorial, and if you have not checked that out, go check it out. We talked about the starters of Hero Deck. So now we're going to talk about and establish what and who the extenders are and how they work and what you're supposed to do with them. So stay tuned for that.
D-Time!
Michael Bowden back again, and I am your host, Destiny Hero Mike, and welcome back to D-Time! We're here, baby. There's always D-Time here over at D-Time Yu-Gi-Oh! And yes, welcome to the second episode of How to Play Heroes tutorial. And like last time, as you guys, just a quick recap, we talked about starters. Let me slow down. We talked about starters, and a quick addendum that I'd like to make is that we talked about, I left out the A Hero Lives. A Hero Lives is indeed a starter card. Just really briefly, and just also for a quick recap, we got a Stratos, Vion, Ferris, and Increase as extension to Ferris. It's our Garnet, but it is our start. It is a part of our starter play. So yes, you cannot resolve a Ferris without an Increase. So it's a Garnet starter. But yes, A Hero Lives, very important. Really briefly, when you have no monsters, no face-up monsters on your side of the field, pay half of your life points to special summon a level 4 or lower hero, elemental hero from your deck to your side of the field. Usually you're gonna get a Stratos. You can also get a elemental hero Shadow Mist as well, depending on the matchup. But usually you're gonna get your Stratos. So I just want to briefly go into that. And yes, guys, if you're new here, before we get into today's lesson, please subscribe. You know, I could be putting this behind a paywall. I heard horror stories such as DDD, the DDD spreadsheet combo being behind some sort of paywall or something like that. And over here, we don't do that. You know, I'm trying to grow my channel. So the way I see it is, I give out the lesson for growth in exchange for growth. I'm still up and coming, brand new channel. I'm surprised I have as many subs that I have in such a short amount of time. I've only been doing this for 4 months. So I really appreciate you guys' help. The way you guys can support me is simply subscribing and engaging, liking, and such. I'm not gonna put this behind a paywall, even though maybe I could or should, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't need to do that. Not to build a community. I'm more focused on building a community. That's my focus. So yes, so today's lesson we're gonna get into our extenders. So let's talk about our extenders. So the only elemental hero extender there really is a Liquid Soldier. Now you might argue that Shadow Mist can be an extender, but I say that she is more in the starter family. She can act as an extender, but she's more so in the starter family, in my opinion, because she's a part of all the starting plays and such. So Liquid Soldier, and what Liquid Soldier is, level 4, water monster, and warrior, and what Liquid Soldier does is, when this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower hero monster, so it could be any hero, doesn't specify Destiny or Elemental or Evil, hero monster in the graveyard and special summon it. And I think it is just, and it could be either attack or defense, so there's no restriction there. It doesn't have to be in defense position. And also the second effect, if this card is used as a fusion material, whether it's from the hand, field, graveyard, or banished as a fusion material, you can draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. And it's an if, so it does not miss timing. And you can only use one or the other effect per turn. You can't use both in one turn. You cannot normal summon this card and then target your Stratos and graveyard and special summon it, and then go to fuse off and then use this draw 2 effect. You can't do that. You have to choose wisely, one or the other. So that is our only real elemental hero extender. The rest gets into mainly, well, since we're still in E heroes, a Dusted Gold. Actually, I lied. So, but let's talk about Dusted Gold since I showed him. Evil Hero Dusted Gold, you can discard this card, add 1 Dark Fusion from your deck to your hand. So that's one of our power spell cards. So next to Polymerization, such as the Vion, so this gets us our Dark Calling. So that is our power spell card. And then it has an attack. You're never gonna summon this card, okay? You're never gonna really summon this card. It has a second effect, but you're not going to be using that. I 1000% sure guarantee you're not going to be using it. It's on field effect. You want to just keep it from hand in hand, discard it, get your Dark Fusion from deck to hand. So that is an extender. I'm not saying play it or don't play it. I don't have an established list for this deck yet, but I do want to just talk about the primary cards that I played in the so-called Omni Hero deck, or the basic normal regular hero deck. That is often played in the Dusted Gold. It's fallen out of favor, fallen in and out of favor quite a bit, but he's still amongst them. Also, what's been falling in and out of favor is the Elemental Hero Honest Neos. That is our other Elemental Hero extender, so that's the part comes in where I lied. I almost forgot because I don't use him. So it's been so long since I've used this guy. But yes, he is an extender / battle phase support. And it reads, quick effect. It's very similar to Honest. You can discard this card, then target one monster on the field, and hero monster on the field, and it gains 2,500 attack until the end of this turn. It has an on-field effect, but it's really not worth mentioning. Basically, when it's on the field, you can discard one card from the hand to pump up pump up a monster by this card, I think, gains the attack, or you have to discard a hero monster and it gains the attack of the discarded monster. But you're never going to use that. You're never going to summon this guy. I'm just saying you're going to target one of your hero monsters on the field and use his effect, usually in damage step, as an Honest card. That's why his name is Honest. So don't worry about his on-field effect. You won't be summoning him. There's no viable way to summon this guy from your hand. So unless you're in some sort of niche, weird scenario, but that's not going to happen. So these are your E-Hero extenders. Everything from Elemental to Evil Hero. These are your E-Hero extenders. And the point of a Dusted Gold is to bring out your Evil Hero Malicious Bane to destroy the field. But we're not talking about extra. I just want to make a brief mention. We're not into the extra deck yet of this lesson, but that's what he's there for. And your Liquid Soldier is going to help you get your draw 2 during a fusion, and your Honest Neos is going to help you deal with their monster, go for OTK or get over anything. And again, this card has fallen in and out of favor, so just so you know where his place is at in amongst the hero ranks. He falls in and out of favor. I personally don't play him. I don't need him. I've got so many different attack extenders in my actual build, which if you want to see a build, I will post a recent deck profile. It's more Destiny centered, but that will be in the description. So let's get into the juicy extenders. D time, okay? Boom. 2 Destiny Hero Malicious. You gotta play it. You know what he does. If you don't know what he does, level 6, 800 attack, 800 defense. Dark Warrior monster. You can banish this card from the graveyard, especially summon a copy of itself from the deck. Cannot be in the hand, so you don't want to have one in the graveyard and one in the hand. You don't want to have that. You want to have one in the graveyard and one in the deck. So that's where you want Malicious to be. So yes. And then your Destiny Hero Denier. So what this card does is it is your extender. It is almost like your 3rd Malicious. Sometimes it can be kind of like a 4th Malicious. This is the perfect, because Destiny Hero Malicious is not getting off the ban list ever. So it's going to stay there forever because the way it's been written, and it's not once returned. So it's going to always be at 2. But for the hero players out there, we got something sweet in Destiny Hero Denier. And what he does is level 3, 1100 attack, 600 defense, warrior. If this card is normal or special summon, you can take one Destiny Hero monster from your deck, graveyard, or that is banished and place it to the top of your deck. You can only use this effect of Destiny Hero Denier once per turn. If you have a Destiny Hero monster in the graveyard, this is the best effect. If you have another Destiny Hero monster in the graveyard other than himself, except for Destiny Hero Denier, you can special summon this card from your graveyard once per duel. You only use this card once per duel, and each effect once per turn. So what this does is, for example, if your Malicious, you have one Malicious in the graveyard and your second Malicious banished, the Denier is going to then bring himself once per duel from the graveyard to special summon. Then he'll use his on summon effect to place the banished Destiny Hero Malicious to the top of the deck. And guess what? Your Destiny Hero Malicious that's in the graveyard is now live to banish himself to summon a copy of himself back again. That's how that works visually. So these are your extenders, your true real extenders. And then you also have something like a boss extender in Destiny Hero Plasma. You see the theme? You see how you get 2 monsters on the field for the Plasma. Now let's talk about Plasma. Level 8 is OG, okay? Old school. Came out like in 2007. I still remember the tin cans. Destiny Hero Plasma. So level 8, 1900 attack, 600 defense. Warrior, Dark. Cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summon from the hand by tributing 3 monsters. So any 3 monsters, they can even be face down. Just tribute 3 monsters. You could special summon 2 monsters, for example, these 2, and then you can set a monster, right, to avoid something like a Nibiru count, and then tribute 3. So it doesn't care. It could even tribute 3 tokens. For example, Scapegoat. Back in the day, that was one of the most common ways to summon Destiny Hero Plasma. Very easy to summon Destiny Hero Plasma. While this card is face up on the field, your opponent he negates the effects of all face up monsters your opponent controls. A one-sided skill drain, literally no cost. And it is not an activated effect, it's a continuous effect. Keep that in mind. Once returned, you can target 1 monster the opponent controls. It can also be face down. And equip that monster, just like Relinquished, to Plasma by sending it to the spell or trap card zone like it's an equipped spell card. Then he'll gain half of the attack, the original attack of the equipped monster. Now, if he absorbed a face down monster, he gains 0 attack because it's undetermined what it is. So that is his effect, and it is more so an extender because you're not fusing. You know, say you're a more advanced example, you're under a dimension barrier. Okay, cool. We can play through dimension barrier. We'll easily spam our 2 Destiny Hero monsters on the board plus 1 more monster. Boom, there's a Plasma. So that's why I consider him an extender, albeit a boss monster. So these are our primary extenders of the deck, and there are some more advanced extenders such as Destiny Hero Dark Angel. It's more advanced. We'll talk about this guy in another video. He actually deserves his own video. Destiny Hero Diamond Dude and Decider. So this is a more Destiny oriented build as to why to play these guys, but we'll go over these guys perhaps in another video. But I just wanted to tell you what your extenders are, and as well as some of your power spells, your Polymerization, your Dark Calling, your Mass Change, your Fusion Destiny, and your Miracle Fusion. But again, these go along with our extra deck. So we're going to do our power spells and our extra deck monsters in the next video. So stay tuned for that. And again, as always, join that Discord link in the description. We got so many other hero players there. If you have any questions, then please ask questions in the comments. I will do the best I can to answer them. And yes, so I really appreciate you guys. Subscribe for more. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Very excited to get this out to you guys. All right, be good to yourselves. Love you, and see you in the next one.